details. Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media.
COVID-19 is changing our world and our lives, and it's changing by the hour. Watch CPAC throughout this crisis for unfiltered live news conferences, connecting you with political leaders and health experts 24 hours a day. The vital information you need on TV, online, on social, so you can see clearly how you are impacted day by day. CPAC. See for yourself.
This is Rogers TV, Grey County.
Hello and welcome to this special edition COVID-19 Rogers television program. My name is Carol Merton and I am delighted that you're joining us today. Before I welcome our guest, for those of you who watch the program, you know I like to say a few words of thank you just at the very, very beginning. And today I have a very special announcement that I want to share with you. Rogers Sports and Media is launching a campaign called Hearts and Smiles. This campaign is designed to acknowledge and celebrate the contributions of our frontline workers, and today happens to be International Nurses Day as well. So Rogers Sports and Media is actually selling t-shirts, t-shirt and mask combos, or just bunches of masks online at www.heartsandsmiles.ca. All of the proceeds from these sales, the t-shirts and masks, are going to what is called the Frontline Fund, which through hospital foundations provides the supplies and support for our healthcare professionals who put themselves ahead of others to ensure our safety and well-being. So please go online and take a look. The Frontline Fund has been created by hospital foundations themselves, and it is a charity that supports more than 150 hospital foundations across Canada which are battling COVID-19. In addition, up to 10% of all the funds raised will be allocated to the Canadian territories and also to Aboriginal communities. This Health Frontline Fund provides supplies for healthcare workers, including personal protective equipment, support for healthcare workers, hotel rooms near hospitals if they need to stay over, mental health resources, and also research for drug trials and vaccine development. So Rogers Sports and Media encourages you to help us to support those who are taking care of us. They continue to have our backs throughout COVID-19, and it's time for us to also have theirs. So on that note, I want to welcome my guest today, and my guest is Kim Williams, who is the Outreach Coordinator, United Way. And Kim is here to fill us in a bit about an exciting new initiative, the Affordability Energy Assistance Program. So Kim, thank you for being here today. This is wonderful. Wondering if you could tell us a little bit about yourself, and then let's launch right into this initiative. And I know you've sent me some information, and I'll probably refer to it. So I'll flip some pages as we're going through. So welcome.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you, Carol, for having me today. I really appreciate that. And I'm here as an outreach coordinator for United Way Bruce Gray with the Community Activation Pilot Project for the Affordability Fund Trust. And it is a program that was, the Affordability Fund was developed, I think, back in 2017. And the Ontario government set aside this trust to help people dealing with soaring energy costs. So this fund is a wonderful opportunity for Ontarians to be able to get some assistance with house and home retrofits, as well as to save energy and to maybe get some new appliances if you qualify, even to weather stripping, insulation, improve the house's envelope basically. And really what the fund does is it helps lower electricity costs over the long term. And there are three different ways that the fund can help. So three different levels that people would qualify for when they apply. And as an outreach coordinator, I can help you through that application process, and as well with the pilot project, offer some additional supports through the United Way. So the first level, that if you do apply and you're thinking, you know what, I like the idea of saving some energy, I like the idea of saving some money, more, more in my pocket, more to spend on other things that are important, especially in these times. Times are difficult right now, and I think we are able to help people over the phone and by email, which I'll give that information a little bit later on. So one of the levels that you could qualify for, and I think most people will, this program is not just for individuals who are dealing with low income, it's for all Ontarians who are dealing with higher energy costs. So one of the things that you can get, I'll show you just sort of, is a kit. And it comes to you in a box like this, and it will have things like LED light bulbs, power bars, shower aerators, and different things to help you conserve. And it's surprising how much even LED bulbs can bring your hydro bill down monthly. So that would be the first level. Now, the level 2 and level 3, people that qualify for that level might be people who are dealing with higher energy bills because of maybe, firstly, the heat with just electricity, which are quite a few people around the Kincardine area still, and Saugeen Shores. And if you just heat with electricity, you're going to be finding that your electricity bills are probably quite high. So in that case, you might even qualify for new home insulation. You would have an energy assessor come out. Right now, we're trying to do that virtually even. And the energy assessor would help kind of educate where maybe some of these high costs are coming from. And then look at, if you have older appliances, you could qualify for new fridges, new stove, washer, dryer. So things like that would be more level 2, and level 3, even up to insulating your home and a heat pump. So these things are very helpful for two different reasons. First of all, you save some money, like I said, which is going to be important to many of us dealing with COVID. But also on the other flip side of that, you are conserving and you are lowering your eco footprint, basically, your ecological footprint. So I think that is a lovely thing about the program, is it's looking at two different aspects of energy consumption and conservation. The other piece is a pilot that was developed, and sort of the idea was put out there by United Way East Ontario, who is the lead in the program, but partnering with United Way Bruce Grey, United Way Simcoe Muskoka, and as well as a couple of agencies out of Ottawa, a senior center called the Good Companions, and a family resource center. I think it's NROC is sort of the acronym for that. And the idea was that through people that might be struggling with higher energy bills, or trying to come to terms with budgeting for higher energy costs, might need some supports and some connections, networking with other agencies or support networks within their community. And the United Way does a wonderful job of kind of helping enhance community life. So I think United Way was a really good fit for this pilot, because they already help so many people in so many different ways in their communities. And what if you apply to the program, and you can call me or email me, and I would kind of fill out the application and sort of help you assess your eligibility and for what level. You can also, at the same time, say, yeah, I really think I'd like to be a part of this pilot project. And what that does is allows me to be your main point of contact through the whole application process, which I think would be very helpful for some people to have someone that, can call them up and say, hey, you know what, they're looking to do the energy assessment. Would you like me to come in? Especially once restrictions are lifted, I can come in person even. Or virtually, I can be there on a conference call. We're working on that sort of thing. So that's one part of it. But the other part is that I would be there for you if any other issues come up in life, or you have questions, or something's happening and you want someone you can talk to and see if they know about any other resources in the community. You can always call me as well. So I think this part of the pilot is what was identified as a way to kind of enhance the life of Ontarians who are dealing with energy affordability issues, and that they might be dealing with some other issues as well. And so I could be there as a main point of contact.
So this really is a brand new project. Mm-hmm. So the launch has just happened?
Yes, it was officially launched April 1st. And of course, we were all in the throes of a pandemic. So the whole idea of outreach really is, and Francesca Dobbin really advocated for outreach within this pilot, is also, brought to attention that the soaring costs of electricity and advocated for people in Great Bruce to, and was a big part, I think, of the Fair Hydro plan that came about from a lot of her advocacy. And so this idea of outreach was that I could be there to help people go to their homes and meet with them and do the application and be that boots on the ground, sort of helping face to face. But with the COVID and our pandemic situation, we've kind of had to change the way we're doing things. And so we are available to take applications. We are doing that over the phone. I can do that. We can contact via email. We can do Zoom meetings if you're comfortable with that. So there are many different ways that we've sort of changed our approach towards outreach for now.
So your pilot had to pivot.
We did. Yes, we are still, yeah. And I feel I'm very excited for people in Grey and Bruce to kind of to have some knowledge about a program that's out there to help you retrofit your home, to possibly upgrade your appliances, especially at a time where we're all dealing with tighter budgets. So. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So with the COVID, I mean, it's a great idea for efficiencies and cost savings, but there are people who are without jobs now. Yeah. So to me, the timing of the project and COVID it links, because there may be more of a need, or people may be thinking that they need to really look at their expenditures because they are unemployed and not sure when they're going to get back to work. I'm wondering if you would mind actually taking me through how the process works. Imagine, so you've made me start to question. I've heard about it. So assume I'm Joe Blow public, and sure. I'd like to know about the process. How long does the application take? Do you need to have access to my bank account? So, just take me through it.
Sure. So if you were to call me and say, you know what, I'm really interested in this Affordability Fund trust program and the community activation pilot project, the first thing I would do is respect your privacy and your personal information. And we would do a consent saying that I can collect some personal information and that, you're either interested in just applying or you're interested in applying with my support, or you're interested in the pilot project as well and would like me to be your main point of contact. So what we would do is I would do that attestation over the phone at this point in time. And then all I really need from an individual who wants to apply is their account number for their electricity provider. The account has to be in the person's name. So you can rent or own, but the electricity bill has to be in your name.
Mhm.
And so I would just need the account number, a couple of electricity bill amounts for the last couple of months, and just your line 150 income on your notice of assessment for either 2019 or 2018. And really, that is it. And we can go through the application process, and I have a calculator that comes that I can use. Sort of assess eligibility. And even if you're not eligible for AFT, I can help through the pilot project apply for other utility assistance programs at the same time. So that's the other lovely thing about this pilot project, is that I can help with many different energy affordability assistance programs.
Yeah. And you're navigating people through
Yes.
because you're able to provide those linkages.
Yeah.
So how long would it take for me to talk on the phone? Like, are you asking for an hour? Are you like, what's the time frame?
And yeah, that depends on the individual. It depends on how many other issues that they feel they would like to speak about, especially in regards to the pilot and outreach. And so if they're looking for other links and resources to different programs in the community. So the application can take anywhere from 10 minutes to, I would say the longest phone call that I've had was almost 45 minutes, but that person wanted to talk, and that was good. That was a good thing. And other than that, once I get that application in, it takes a couple of weeks. And I think if you were looking at the process from start to finish, we're kind of dealing with the pandemic, some of the in-home energy assessments that happen if you qualify for level 2 and level 3, we're trying to work through that and figure out ways to do that virtually. So we're sort of, again, pivoting on that and working on that. So I would say we're hoping for a final fulfillment for a beneficiary within a few months, 3 months or so. But that depends. It depends on how much is needed, and it depends on what work can be done right now. So whether or not you qualify, you still, if you qualify for level 1, I think the kits that I showed you, like these, it's like getting a big present. They go out rather quickly. Yeah. And you know, I spoke to one beneficiary that called, and we were figuring out it would be almost $70 to replace all of their light bulbs just alone with LED light bulbs. But the savings could be up to almost like $20-$30 a month on your hydro bill. So,
and having someone advise them of the benefit of making the change is where your skills come in, to be able to inform and educate at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, that's, to me, this program touches on so many things. I work with seniors, I have for many years. I am a conservationist at heart. So I really believe that this can help a lot of people in many different ways.
So besides yourself, is there anyone else who is actively involved in the intake part of this, or are you it?
Well, I'm intake right now, but then I pass, once the application is put through to the Affordability Fund, they look at the application, and then they pass it on to your local distribution network, which for us is Westerio, and that is who I'm working with as well. Hydro Ottawa is also a partner, in Power out of Innisfil as well. So we're all kind of working together to reduce energy and retrofit homes and educate about conservation. And then as well, this providing the additional supports piece is a wonderful, this has never been done before from the energy sector's point of view. And so it's really nice to have them on board, and we're going to hopefully be able to link people to lots of other programs and services as well.
Yeah, and that, I mean, people have a variety of issues and concerns, so being able to look at the whole person and not just one part is certainly very, very helpful. Where does the funding come from again for this project?
The funding was from the Ontario government, so that fund was put into place through the Ontario government, and that trust fund is available to all Ontarians until the end of December. And then we'll see what happens after that. But I think with the pilot, project, being a part of that, and United Way, being a wonderful partner in the pilot, we'll see what impact this has on people's lives, like where energy costs, how maybe we'll see a little bit more how they impact everyone's lives. And then also how we feel about lowering our eco footprint. I think that means a lot to a lot of people now. So
yes, so the kits that you demonstrated, that the funding for that comes from the government, and the project will go to the end of December 2020.
Correct.
So how will you measure whether the program really hit the target? I mean, from an organization, you probably have certain measures. From the individual using the program, you have certain measures. How will you know if it's been a success?
Well, I'm hoping that by the end of the project, we'll be involved as outreach workers in the consult stage and sort of going through and debriefing on how the project has gone. We've definitely been told that's what will happen. So once we get to that point and then we're fulfilling all of our, hopefully we'll have helped hundreds of more Ontarians, retrofit their homes and have more education about conservation. Hopefully we'll have helped many different people link to resources in their communities and enhance the lives of Ontarians. So I think that will be our kind of metric to measure by. So, and I think we're hoping that if people are satisfied with the program, that they're willing to do a testimonial to say, because these upgrades are free. There isn't a catch. There's no cost to you. Really, all you're investing is a little bit of your time to apply and see if you qualify. Really, and I mean, I guess maybe waiting and kind of working through the process for the assessor and for the appliances to come in if you qualify for those, or and even in some cases there have been they've recognized the need for new windows even. So this is a really amazing thing that I hope a lot of people in Grey and Bruce will reach out to me. And again, you can reach me. Is it okay to give my email address?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So you can reach me at AFT, Affordability Fund Trust, but it's just all lowercase, AFT, at unitedwaybg.com. And if you reach out by email, I will get back to you as soon as possible. And you can also call me. Unfortunately, because the lead agency is United Way East Ontario, it's a long distance number, but it's 613. Let me double check that. My goodness, I have to remember this number here.
Just when you want to remember, right?
Yeah. So yeah, it's a 613-808-0180. So that's another way you can apply. If you'd like to just try it all out, you can go to affordabilityfund.org. So you can go online yourself and just apply yourself as well.
So you really don't have a set limit of numbers of people who can apply. Then it's open, which is amazing. That's amazing.
I mean, I guess if we do reach the end of the fund, I don't know if we will or not, but I really don't know the answer to that one. So it was a certain set amount that was put into the fund. I think it was $100 million that was put into the fund to help Ontarians ease the burden of their electricity bills. So it's there, ready to be used by all Ontarians. And I really hope that people in Grey and Bruce reach out and take advantage of this wonderful opportunity.
It is an amazing opportunity. So I realized you started in April and you had to make some changes because of COVID, but are you getting calls more from seniors or lower income, or is there a variety of people who are approaching you?
There is a variety of people. Like really, if you think about it, even young people trying to get started in life, and maybe they've purchased their first home and are finding it difficult to meet all of the expenses of a new home, and maybe they've bought a home that has really old appliances. A lot of our young people are dealing with precarious employment. So they're welcome to apply. Seniors definitely have been identified as a level 2 and level 3 beneficiary group. People who are on fixed incomes, newly retired, things like that. Seniors who are living in older homes with maybe older appliances. And really a thing I've done a presentation to the Southwest Local Health Integrated Network and sort of giving them clues to look for if someone is self-rationing, and maybe only staying in one area of the home because it's just too expensive to heat the rest of the home, things like that. We all try and find our ways to conserve, but what we're hoping to educate through the Affordability Fund is there are ways that this can be done through this fund that will help improve your house's envelope, is some of the layman terms that I've heard used in green energy type of talk, so improving insulation, lights, appliances, things like that.
So you had mentioned that it has to be the individual whose name is on the hydro or the bill, the bill itself. What if people own more than one property and they pay on more than one property? Are they only eligible for this program with one property?
Yes, Carol, that's a wonderful question. Yeah, it's your primary residence. So it has to be your primary residence. Yeah. So whether you rent or own, it has to be your primary place of residence.
Right. Oh, and that's helpful to know. But the learnings that you would get from the savings in your primary residence might prompt people to make a change in other residences that they may own, right? So,
exactly. Yeah. And that education piece is huge. It really is a big part. Yeah.
Any surprises for you since you've started this?
I am surprised at the different ways that the pilot project, as an outreach coordinator, that I can assist people. Like I've really been pleased by people's openness to share, I'm struggling here. And do you know anything about any programs out there or any agencies in the community that might be able to help me with this issue? So I really am happy about that part, that people are willing to kind of speak about those things. And of course, all your information is confidential, and we take those consent forms very seriously, and that information in the pilot is kept secure. So.
And certainly going forward about, affordability for energy, to think that you would springboard into other needs must be rewarding for you.
It is already, and I think that we're going to see this pilot really help in that area. We are finding energy costs are high. We all are dealing with that. And the cost of living is going up, let's face it. And especially during these times when our lives are turned upside down and we're, like you said, dealing with situations we've never had to deal with before, or never even thought we'd need help with something before this point in time. So I really feel that this is this pilot project, although the outreach component was meant to be boots on the ground, I think that we are still able to help. So please, if you'd like some information,
just call.
Please call. Yeah.
Kim, I can't believe our time's up. It's been absolutely wonderful speaking with you. Thank you for joining me today. And thank you to our viewing audience for joining us as well. Please take care and stay safe. Thank you.
Thanks.